everybody, this is the Rabid Hedgehog, and this is my riding review of the 2015 Indian Scout. So far, we're just kind of taking a ride from Indian of Oklahoma City, located at Northeast 10th, near Broadway. And we're just kind of riding as a group here. Hold on just a moment. Don't have too many impressions of it just yet. The bike itself versus the Sportster that I have is absolutely extremely light. That is one thing I'm going to have to get used to here. It's a short bike as well, a little bit shorter than my Sporty, and so overall it's lighter and a little bit more. Let's see. Lighter and a little bit shorter so far, and definitely feels lighter at the moment. I mean, it does feel like a flickable bike. I'm trying to get used to these forward controls. Alright, here we go. Get to see what the suspension's like versus the old Sportster. Definitely has some decent power on it. Very smooth delivery from that engine they've got. 69 cubic inch or 1130 cc for those cc guys out there. Puts out plenty of power. Nice smooth delivery. Very good smooth transmission shifting as well. Definitely like that about it so far. Quiet. I'm used to those Vance and Hines blaring behind me. That's for sure. Yeah, none of us are doing that right now. Hopefully we'll slow down a little bit, because they said that our tickets are our responsibility. Well, what happens when the lead rider's going faster than they need to go? At any rate, so far the seating position is fairly comfortable on it. It's very compact for my large frame. I'm 6 foot tall even, and you know, a little chunky, and my legs are fairly decently long, but you know, not terribly. So when you look at it, seating position's very close in, very compact on this, but you know, it's not terrible. It's not bad at all. Oh, it goes through a nice... That feels pretty good right there. That very responsive in the turn there. A little bit of rain out here today, unfortunately, but hopefully it won't ruin anything. Downshifts nicely. Like that. Alright, I'm going to get some interstate riding here real fast. Let's see how that goes. How you liking the Roadmaster so far? It's good?
Yeah, I've ridden the vintage and same engine. I like the full dress.
Yeah? What do you...
Victory Cross Country Tour.
Oh, you have a Victor Cross Country? Yeah, that's the other bike I'm looking for a tour, is one of the cross countries. But yeah, it sounds pretty good. I admit that. This one's got pretty smooth power. Really? Yeah, I just, you know, can't hit it yet. Hopefully we'll be able to hit it a little bit here.
Yeah, these sound better than the Victory stock.
Yeah.
Victory stock sounds terrible. I had mine upgraded, real loud.
Yeah. I'm going to be riding the Roadmaster next, actually, so. I mean, this thing does not argue about getting up to power, that's for sure, and that transmission is definitely competent. I like that about this bike. Very smooth and very competent in terms of the way it rides. Let me see if I can fall in line here. I don't want to be in a double stack. forgot what it felt like to have the wind beating on you again without a windshield. But you know, it's not too bad. This compact position does help that out a little bit. Oh, they're getting frisky. Okay, well, frisky this. Getting formation here. Yeah, so far, I mean, this thing traveled to 80 without any problem whatsoever. In terms of the power delivery, I mean, versus a stock 1200 Sportster, this thing can move. I have to say that, you know, honestly. It gets up and screams to speed. I like that about it. It definitely is a lot of bike here for $10,999 is what this one starts out at. It's in the Thunder Black, which is the kind of like the vivid black for Harleys, if you're familiar with that. It means it's got the clear coat on it. It's not a matte finish. They do have the Thunder Black Smoke, which is the their version of the matte finish, or you know, like the denim finish on Harley. So, you know, and they also got that red up ahead, and the gray is the colors that they're coming out with. All of them have the kind of reduced reach seat on them that are brown leather. I do like the way it looks, makes it look a little bit more vintage. But you know, overall, it's a great bike so far. I have to say that I'm shocked here. You know, it's not as powerful as my Sportster, but my Sportster is special. It has a Harley racing engine in it, Evolution, so it has more horsepower than your average Evolution. But you know, that's the only thing that keeps this apart. Regular 1200s that I've ridden tend to not have the power that mine has. I mean, mine can snap to 80 just as much as this one could. This one did it in third gear without an issue. And I probably even could have done it from second. So, whoa, truck. Yeah, so this one definitely could have done that, you know, like the Harley, if I wanted to. Scream it up to 80 in second or third gear. I mean, it did a very good job of getting up to speed. You know, this is a liquid-cooled bike as well, unlike the Harley Sportster, and I do like that about that. It has very many advantages to being liquid-cooled, especially where I live at here in Oklahoma. We have temperatures of 113, and it's not unheard of. I mean, and it's also a humid 113. So these bikes definitely sitting around start to cook themselves, but with this engine, being that it's liquid cool, it can sit in the traffic a lot longer and not be of an issue. All right, caught up to him. We're going between 80 and 60 and 60 and 80, and let's all get over. All right. But I mean, overall impressions, I mean, the bike is smooth on the highway, no doubt about that. It is definitely a very smooth riding bike. Probably one of the smoothest I've been on. The rear suspension is choppy, just like the Sportster, because I'm on a choppy road right now. You can probably hear it a little in my voice as I go, but it does have a short rear suspension travel, just like the Harley does. And, you know, not a bad thing, not a good thing, but you know, it's comfortable as it is on this ride. On some broken streets, it's going to be a little bit painful. It's as good as my Super Low T, and probably a little bit better than the Iron 883 I had as well, because that iron was tight. It was very bouncy and always having some issues here. Let us in, folks. I'm impressed. I mean, the power of this bike is very impressive. I mean, this is one of the best bikes I've rode in terms of this class, the small cruiser class. Being that the Sportsters and the Vulcans and the other things that I've ridden in this class, the Honda Shadow. I mean, this thing, night and day and night above the Shadow, no matter what. I mean, the Shadow has nothing on this. The Vulcan has nothing on this. The Yamaha V-Star, the bigger ones, don't have anything on this. This bike just delivers the power very evenly. Very much a lot of torque in the beginning, and also at the end it revs higher. It gets maximum torque at 5,900 RPM. So that's, you know, quite a rev range for such a little bike here. Take a stop. I haven't really been able to test the brakes per se. they seem competent. I mean, but I haven't done anything like short of quick stops or anything like that. That is hilarious. Your gas cap's hanging out there, buddy. Brakes are good. I just tried them out there. Really good braking on this bike. Down a gear there. I mean, this thing downshifts and upshifts. I mean, it's incredible. This is a first-year bike, and I'm very impressed with it. I mean, the Sportster's been around since 1957, and it is nowhere near as refined as this bike is in its first year. Because I mean, this one doesn't vibrate. It doesn't rattle your teeth out at a stop. It doesn't, you know, there's a lot of things it does right, to be honest. And like I said, I love my Sportster. Don't get me wrong. It's the raw power, the noise, and the things it does. But, you know, sometimes you just want to enjoy a smooth ride. And I guess that's why I had that KLR, because it does provide that smoother power and the, you know, not as raspy of a of an engine. But this one here, I mean, I just downshifted again a little bit. I mean, it's wonderful. Let me see what the engine braking's like on it real quick. Coming up to the stop sign here. Not as much engine braking as you would expect. Not as much engine braking. So, one thing about it, you're not going to use your engine to brake like you do with a Harley Evolution. So, there's the honest truth on that. I mean, this thing just accelerates and is pure. I mean, it's just it's a good feeling bike. I mean, like I said, for my Evolution 1200, this thing does not beat it in any way, shape, or form. But in terms of, you know, the others, the regular 1200s, then shoot, this thing has it beat and beats and beat and beat. It's just fantastic. Some props from the Honda Elite. Catch up here. Everybody's going a little faster than I want to go down these roads. Let's see. This thing just feels wonderful in these corners. I mean, it's turns. I mean, I can't test the full extent of its lean angle, but you know, overall, it turns really well. You can see that's also a Scout up ahead of me as well. Roadmaster to my left. These are all 2015 bikes. Scout's not quite out yet. Well, they're tearing the old tower down over here. This is one of the news stations here that's been around for a long time. KWTV, the tower right there used to be the world's tallest video is what KWTV stood for. Right here in Oklahoma City back in the 1950s when they first built it. But since they went to DTV, they no longer use that tower, and they're getting rid of her finally. And it's going to be kind of sad to see it go, because that's an icon in our city. It's taller than the Empire State Building. I think it's taller than the Sears Tower, or whatever they call that thing now. Kind of cool about it being in Oklahoma City that most people don't know about. We actually had an extremely tall TV antenna. Go Oklahoma, folks. All right. Anyway, you know, here we're on this broken road, and you know, back to that suspension. It definitely has a short travel like the Sportster. Not as smooth as I was hoping it would be, but this is a first-year bike, and I mean, for what it's worth, the fit and finish seems really good. The power is really good. The one thing about it that I've kind of noted, I talked to the guy before we started riding, and this has a fairly wide gas tank on it for what it's worth. But the crazy thing is that it's only a 3.3 gallon gas tank. You know, kind of like the Iron 883. So it's not terribly big, and this bike only gets 43 to the gallon, roughly is what he said. So that's a little little heartbreaking, you know, if you're thinking about using this as a long-range cruising bike. I mean, it just feels really good. I mean, you don't have to tell it to do anything. It just does it. You don't have to beg for power. You don't have to look for power in the gears. It just goes. I like that. That's why I bought my Harley. And you know, this is a bike that I'm looking into possibly buying my wife one of these days, because she's not a very big person at all, and she needs a smaller, more compact bike, and one that holds its weight well. And I have to say that Indian engineers on this thing, you know, being a V-twin and all, an 1130cc with a liquid cooled of all things, this thing holds its weight very well and very low, keeps that center of gravity low, so it's really easy to pick off the ground. But it also sits low to the ground when you pick it up. That's one thing I noted, is like I don't even have to like throw my leg over, I just kind of step over it. And that's a very short bike. One of the shortest bikes I've ever experienced here. So that's amazing. I mean, it's just absolutely stunning that they were able to put that into this frame. I mean, it feels really good. I mean, it just really does. But, you know, like I said, still got the shortfalls of the Sportster in terms of its suspension. It rides about as rough, and you know, I don't know, it's just one of those things. I'm trying to think of what to say, because this is my first like review of a new bike that I don't own, and but it's a good bike. I mean, overall, really like the way it feels. Concentrating because we're about to get on the interstate again. Get a little bit more lean angle this time. Self-canceling, nice. The lights are self-canceling, kind of like the old Harley Davidsons, and that's kind of cool. I do like that. I kind of forget all the time on my KLR to cancel the light, because I'm so used to leaning in and coming out, and the lights cancel on their own. Oh, we had to get behind a stupid bus. Bus, 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 bus. Okay, he's cut him off in the back. Here we go. All right, and formation. Oh, the bumpy, 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 bumpy. Looking for an extra gear and didn't have it. That was my fault. Oh, man, it's bouncy. Yeah, I mean, other than the suspension, it's comfortable. I mean, I'm not getting strained. I feel real good in this saddle. Don't have to move around too much, even though I'm taller and it's more compact. I still feel pretty good on it. I have to admit that, you know, and part of that is just the way they've got this feeling. I mean, I guess the forward controls helps that compact feeling out a little bit. And that's one thing that I've got to get used to, is forward mount controls. Because I'm used to those somewhat mid-mount, because mine are a little bit more forward on that touring Sportster that I've got. But overall, I mean, this thing just tears up the road, and you can just, I'm in 6th gear, opened it up and just took out. I mean, that's impressive for a 6th gear to just go ahead and rip it out like that. So overall, so far, I have to say, of the 2015 Scout, this is a buy bike. I would definitely buy this at this bike, because it's raw, it's wonderful, it's well put together. I mean, even for a first-year bike, the fit and finish, like I said, is fantastic. You know, they've got the wires tucked away like they do on the Sportster up next to the handlebar, so it doesn't really pop out too terrible much. And you know, the gauge is wonderful. It has a little trip switch back here. You can see that I'm doing 3,500 RPMs. It has the engine temperature gauge as well. I'm doing 185 degree on engine temp right now. So far, this bike has 775 miles on it. I've done 12.7 miles on this ride because it's set at 0. So a nice long ride. It doesn't have a gear selector, so you don't know what you're doing on that. So that's okay though. I'm all right with it not having a gear counter. I'm kind of used to it on other bikes. All right, away we go. Just let's play. That was 90, not bad. So far, it's really good. Just tied all the way around, revs real well. Like I said, it's just a well put together machine for a first year bike. And I didn't come in wanting to hate this motorcycle at all or anything. I came in hoping for a great bike. Hoping for another great American name to step up to the plate. And Indian has done so with this bike, this Indian Scout here. And this has got to be one of the easiest first rides I've ever had on a bike, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And I just want to let everybody know this bike is a buy, an honest buy, because it's just everything you want in a small cruiser. Good price point, $10,999, a little bit less than your 1200 Sportster. Delivers the same or better performance, just depends on what you've done to your engine on your Evolution, because you can make those Evolutions scream if you want to. And just overall, really good. So when I get back to the dealership, I'll do a walk around too of the one they got sitting on the showroom floor. Mirrors are in good places too. I like where the mirrors are. Something you really don't think about. Mirrors. All right. And here's the Indian of Oklahoma City. A nice little old retro building here. Kind of nice for this. And it's 7 Northeast 10th. In Oklahoma City. Alright folks, this is the Rabid Hedgehog. I'm just going to do a little walk around on the Indian Scout. It's a good looking little bike. Fat front tire, pretty nimble. You can see the way they packed in the radiator there, really good. It's got that 69 cubic inch motor on key. Really low seat height, 25.2 inches. Like I said, suspension travel is kind of like the Harley Sportster in that it does bounce. Forward mount controls, not too fond of those, but get used to it. I like the way the exhaust comes out, it needs to be a little bit louder. But overall, a good looking bike. Very good looking bike. Yeah. 3.3 gallon gas tank on it, despite the size of that, as you can see. But it does hold its weight very well though.